Hey guys, welcome back for a brand new box office prediction video. I've got a guest today. I am so excited to introduce you guys to Matt Donato, one of my best friends in New York. You know why he's on this video too? Because Matt here, were you the one who introduced me to Fantasy Movie League? Did you get the league started? Blame this guy right here.
I started all of this. This is all my doing. Don't let her take credit. We've got a little bit of
a problem in our group of friends. We're very competitive, and we have a little New York friend league going on right now. How'd you do last week?
I did not good. Not as good as I wanted to, only because, and we talked about this, I went with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom just Saturday, though. So I went with 2 Saturdays. That meant I only had Saturday to go with.
Yep.
You and Rebecca, who both trounced me. You got 92 million, Rebecca got 89 million, I got 72 million because you both went with The Incredibles, and that's where you pulled it off because Incredibles was the whole weekend.
Well, even though Rebecca and I topped you, we still can't compare to the only person in the Predictions with Perri League that got a perfect lineup. It is Bananagrams. All the thumbs up for you right now. That is something else. Again, I am determined to... Have you gotten a perfect lineup yet?
I have. I went the Super Troopers lineup. I remember you did once.
I
nailed the Super... I got it literally... my tiebreaker is the only thing that kept me out of first place in the actual entire league because always go with the stoners on 420. No one else believed it.
It's true, and it did so well. All right, now we got to recap what happened at the box office last weekend. I'm a little bummed I didn't crack the top 30 of our FML league this weekend. I'm also bummed because my numbers were all over the place. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it took a much bigger hit than I thought it would, dropping almost 59% for a $60.9 million second weekend out. Then it was Incredibles 2, which held on stronger than I anticipated, only dipping 42.2% for another $46.4 million. Then Sicario, Day of the Soldado wound up overperforming and topping Uncle Drew with $19 million. Then at number 4, it was Uncle Drew with $15.2 million. And then finally at number 5, we had Ocean's 8, which made another $8.3 million. All right, we're moving into our top 5 for this weekend now. Do you want to announce your number 5 first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first with my number 5, and I agree that Sicario overperformed last week, so that is why I think Uncle Drew will be my number 5. I think Uncle Drew will come back with a $9 million week, and I think the demographic that it aims toward will be a lot stronger versus, number 1, the word of mouth of Sicario wasn't great, and number 2, it kind of got savaged by critics. So I think that's going to play into my number 5.
See, I'm using that same exact starting point, but that's the reason why I'm putting Sicario 2 at number 5. I think it overperformed so well, and that is a sign that it could wind up doing well. Last weekend, I tried to compare Sicario 2 to Savages, which it came out about the same time. Mm-hmm. So even though Sicario 2 made a little more than that one did opening weekend, even if I go back to Savages, weekend 2, it dropped just about 41.5%. Okay. So let's say that number comes up just a little bit because Sicario has a little more to lose. I don't know. Let me put it at 45%. If I do that, I've got Sicario making $10.5 million this weekend.
You're brave. I don't think you're right, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, now we're moving on to number 4 this week, and that is where I have the First Purge. Do you have it as well?
I indeed do.
So with the Purge here, I feel like I'm cheating a little, but I'm not, because the Purge actually hit theaters earlier this weekend, and its Tuesday night preview number, $2.5 million. So I'm going to take that, compare it to Purge election year, which, as we know, the Purge pretty much owns the July 4th holiday. So it came out about the same time. And that movie, when it opened for Thursday night previews, took $3.6 million. So basically at this point, I don't think that the First Purge has any chance at catching the Purge election year. No. And on top of that, I think that the First Purge, it's so hard to keep saying purges, the First Purge has more competition in AntMan and the Wasp than what election year did its opening weekend. It was up against The Legend of Tarzan, the BFG, and Finding Dory's third weekend, which, you know, when you count it all up, it's a significant amount of competition.
But they're all kids' movies, though. That's the thing. The Purge had no competition in demographic.
Also, it's not, none of those are juggernauts like, let's say, another MCU movie.
No,
so
not at all.
When I look at all of that, and I also take into account all of these, the projections. So a lot of the projections have the First Purge coming in with something like $25 million. but it was for the 5-day weekend.
Yeah.
So when I consider what it made Tuesday night and I start to strip down the other numbers, because let's not forget, Wednesday and Thursday are not going to count towards its opening weekend total.
And that's when everyone is going to see it too, I think. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's when we're going to get people actually going to see it.
Because, well, yeah, no, you're probably right on that, because I think Universal made the smart move by trying to get ahead of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Exactly. So I think basically the number I'm going to wind up settling on for the 3-day weekend for The Purge is $20 million.
I'm going to go a little under you. I'm going to go 18 million because I don't think it has a proven cast. It doesn't even have Frank Grillo, and I'm not saying he's a box office draw, but at least that's a name that genre people know. Mm-hmm. You have really an unproven cast. You kind of have a fourth Purge movie that is getting it's getting a little political in the sense, and I don't want to bring politics into it, but some people may see the posters and be turned off immediately because they don't want that kind of movie.
It's possible.
I think 18 million is where that's going to be about.
Okay. Quickly, did you like it?
I hated it.
Okay, well, we're going to move past that and go right into our number 3 pick now. Do you want to say what you got?
I will. I mean, I'm going to stay with The Incredibles. It just keeps doing well at the box office, and I don't think that's going to stop. I mean, yes, it's declining, but that's what movies do. They go down. So I'm just going to jump right into it and say it's going to make about 23 million. Most people have seen it by now. But, I don't know, I feel like families still want that aspect to go out in the holidays and see a movie, so I think we'll still be okay with about 20 plus million.
And it's also, nothing that's coming out this weekend is, a direct...
where's the direct competition?
It's not direct competition, although, now that I think about it, when we were talking about Incredibles, weekend 2, I believe, when Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom opened out, I think Jurassic World's opening 8 into The Incredibles 2 a little more than I thought it would, but... With this weekend, so at this point in its run, I think Incredibles 2 has kind of leveled out with Finding Dory just a little bit. So weekend 3, Incredibles 2 made about $46 million. Yep. For Finding Dory, it was 41%. So then when I look at the next weekend and how much Finding Dory lost, it's about 50%. But it dropped that 50% after a holiday weekend. So I think that percent change is going to be a little higher for Finding Dory than, let's say, it would for Incredibles 2. But also, it had Secret Life of Pets that same weekend also. So that's another reason why it had a really high percent change. And really, this time around, I think that it's coming down big time for something like Incredibles 2. And I think the number I'm going to settle on is bringing that 50% change that Finding Dory saw down to 45% for The Incredibles 2. That lands me at $26 million.
That's fair.
All right. Now we're going on to number 2 for the weekend. It is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So, with this one and my comparisons, I am looking at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Okay. So, they both had similar numbers opening weekend. Then on top of that, they saw similar hits weekend 2. So, Guardians dropped just a little bit less, I think, but just a little bit. So, weekend 3 now, looking at Guardians 2, that movie dropped 47%. But, of course, it didn't have competition like Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, when I account for that, and then also the fact that the weekend 2% change was just a little bit different, I think I land on something like 53% for Fallen Kingdom. So I'm bringing that 47% change that Guardians saw up to 53% for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and that leaves me with $28.5 million for that one. What you got?
I feel like I'm in math class with all these statistics just coming at me. Yes, I also have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It's not going to lose that number 2 spot. I don't know. I feel like... I mean, I have 35 million down.
How much?
35 million. I feel like that might be a little aggressive, but maybe that's just because I want it to do that well. Because I love this movie, and I know it's dumb, and I know it's stupid, but I really want it to do a little better, and I just want it to hit that 35 million number, and that's what I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna gamble. I'm gonna go with it.
I get it. No, sometimes it really is kind of hard to keep emotion and personal preference out of these predictions.
As emotionally attached to genetic dinosaurs as I can be.
You're rooting for it. Of all people, you don't have to explain that to me. I love
quite aware.
I love
yes,
that series. All right, so now we're on to number 1.
We are.
This is the big one for the weekend. I would be shocked if anyone had anything else at number 1. It is Ant-Man and the Wasp. What you got?
Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it's a Marvel movie. It's just opening. So the number, though, is a little interesting to me because it's being projected at the lowest MCU opening for Phase 3. And I did not like Ant-Man, and I truly believe that Ant-Man is a better supporting character than he is a kind of like front runner. Mm-hmm. And he's not in this movie, which is what makes it good to me. He's surrounded by a cast that kind of rules. But still, I don't know if he is the draw of a Thor or a, any one of those big Captain America kind of characters. So I'm going to come in under the projection. Okay. And I'm going to give you a range and say it's going to be more 65 to 70 million.
Ooh, you're going way lower than I am.
Yeah, I am. I don't know if... I mean, it's a holiday weekend, so I may be stupid here because everyone's home, but also I think it's a holiday weekend and people might not be home, and people might be out doing things, and, maybe Ant-Man isn't the movie they rush out to see for opening weekend.
It's also a weird holiday weekend, because technically the holiday is dead smack in the middle of the week.
Wednesday, yeah. But that means people kind of take off Thursday, Friday, maybe they took a long weekend.
Oh, boy.
I'm coming in low, and I'm probably going to be proven historically and catastrophically wrong, but that is what I'm doing.
This is going to be the interesting one, then.
Go ahead.
With Ant-Man, I've been obviously keeping an eye on all of the early projections for it, and one of the last ones I saw was a range between 70 to 80 million. But then I got that email from Fandango, because I get all their news alerts, where they claim that it's outpacing Doctor Strange, which opened with about $85 million. Okay. So... thinking about that, and also, I think that Marvel is just having an absolutely astounding year. It started with Black Panther, it continued with Infinity War, and now here we are at Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I just think that momentum just built to such an extent that it's going to push it over Doctor Strange, and that's why I'm giving Ant-Man and the Wasp an $86 million opening weekend.
I think it's fair. I mean, your logic is very sound, because I know people after Infinity Wars want to know what kind of happens next, so I'm not arguing that in the least bit. I don't know, though. I'm just not putting all my eggs in the Ant-Man basket.
Alrighty.
I love Paul Rudd. I love the character, but he is best when he is alone and supporting other people. So.
We shall have to wait and see what happens with this one, but right now I'm recapping first. I've got Ant-Man and the Wasp topping the charts with $86 million. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom coming in at number 2 with $28.5 million. Then Incredibles 2 at number 3 with $26 million. The First Purge opening up at number 4 with $20 million even. And then finally, Sicario Day of the Soldado coming in at number 5 with $10.5 million. Matt, what's your rundown?
My rundown is Ant-Man with $65 million, and that's going to be a fatal flaw, I know. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with $35 million, which again will probably be too high. Incredibles 2, that's going to hit $23 million in my mind. The First Purge is going to hit $18 million, and Uncle Drew will round that out with $9 million and beat Sicario Day of the Soldado.
All right, guys, you know what happens next. You hit that comment section below, put your top 5 and your number predictions right there. And I have to remind you, check out the Predictions with Perri League on Fantasy Movie League. You can find the URL and the password to join that there. We also have 3 Patreon shoutouts to give today. This trio is Brian, Lewis, and James. Yet again, a huge thank you. Do you want to chime in and say thank you? He knows how much
Thanks,
I love
guys.
doing this.
I do. Please keep her going. Please contribute. And then,
It really just blows my mind that, when you love doing something so much and then someone out there is kind enough to help keep it going, it warms my heart every single time I say thank you. But another thank you goes to this guy right here. I'm a big fan of him. I think you should check out all of his work. So can you tell everyone where to find you on the interwebs?
As of now, you can find me at Donatobomb on Twitter. You can also find my writing anywhere from Bloody Disgusting to Slash Film to Dread Central to We Got This Covered to a billion other places I won't name. Just you can follow my Twitter and I'll tell you where everything goes. And hopefully you'll see me on the videos more soon.
Well worth doing. So check all that out. Check out Fantasy Movie League, comment sections for your predictions, all that good stuff, and I will see you next weekend with more box office predictions.